Welcome back. I'm Janine Forlong and you're with Central News. Well, it's not long now until the GST increase, and Michelle Malcolm from WHK Accountants joins us now to give us a few clues on what to do. Welcome to the show, Michelle.
Hi, thank you.
Now, first of all, the GST, what impact is it going to have across the board? Obviously, it's going to impact businesses, but across the board?
Across the board, it's going to have the impact from when we go out and buy our groceries or anything from the 1st of October, we're going to be paying another 2.5%. So everything we buy after the 1st of October is going to have another 2.5% added onto it.
And it's already expensive, isn't it?
I know.
Yeah. And what about for businesses in particular?
For businesses, it's going to mean that from the 1st of October, their invoices are now going to have 15% GST on them rather than 12.5%, so they're going to have to make sure that they're aware of that. There are some rules around time of supply that they need to be thinking about, because there are people sort of thinking, oh well, what can I do? So time of supply is really important that they understand the rules around that, and there are some sort of tricks to it as well. Like there's a continuous supply, which means that some things will actually still have 12.5% on them. For example, insurance, because it was a continuous supply, so you're sort of under a contract, your motor vehicle lease, so there are some things that will still hold 12.5% for a certain amount of time.
So businesses need to be now looking at what they're doing so that by the time October 1 hits, they've already done a lot of preparation.
Oh, definitely. There's a lot of preparation that people actually need to make sure that they've done before the 1st of October to ensure that they get it all right.
So can you give us just a couple of tips on what those might be?
So some of the things they need to do, I would have a person within the office basically being aware of what the changes are going to be. Everyone that's got a computer system out there needs to get an upgrade, and that's actually causing some issues, so they need to make sure that they do that well before the 1st of October, because
when you say computer system, you're meaning actually for accounts and things like that?
That's correct. So like accounting systems like MYOB, QuickBooks, there's a whole lot of accounting systems out there which currently are on 12.5%, which all need to be upgraded to be able to account for the 15% that comes in on the 1st of October.
Which means if you've just put an MYOB in, you're actually going to have to get an upgrade on that?
Yes, because those upgrades are only sort of just coming out now, so it is really important to make sure that that actually happens. And if you're on an old computer system, those upgrades actually can be quite tricky, so you really don't want to leave it to the last minute.
And the increase is going to bring change in other areas as well, isn't it? Can you tell us about
those? Are the good news changes, because we're actually going to have some tax breaks, which is fantastic. So our top tax rate for an individual is going to come from 38 down to 33, and then all the other rates are coming down as well. So that's actually good news for us. So in reality, we should actually be better off, even though we're going to be paying another 2.5% in GST. And then from the 1st of April next year, our tax rate for companies is going to be coming down as well, from 30% to 28%.
Of course, the GST is going to hit us on the 1st of October, and the tax break will take a wee while to kick in.
Well, your timing shouldn't be too bad. It depends how often you get paid. If you get paid weekly, you should be able to see your tax benefits within that week. If you're fortnightly, it's going to take a fortnight to be able to see that benefit. It really depends on when your pay period falls, but within a month you should be able to feel the effects of the tax breaks.
And of course, I mean, we're talking personal there, but even businesses, they're needing to make the change not only for themselves, for their clients that are using their services, but also for their own purchases. Yeah. It's going to make a difference as well.
It is going to make a difference.
We all need to plan for that.
We do. And what we do need to do is make sure that we've actually communicated to our clients via letters that their costs are going to go up by 2.5%, and really make sure that they're aware of what their obligations are going to be going forward. Even though we all know that it's going up, I still think it's a good idea to actually communicate to our clients, just so that everyone's on the same playing field.
Are there any other benefits apart from the
That's actually a really good question. Really good question. I actually think it's a good opportunity to review your pricing. Like, make sure that, have we got our prices right for what we're actually selling?
Because it's a different market right now.
It is a different market, yes. And we're finding that a lot of people aren't getting their pricing right. They're actually losing money because they don't understand where they should be pricing products and services in the market. So they're going out there and they're losing money on what they're doing.
Well,
so it's really good to...
They're not getting the sales or the services or whatever it is because they're not priced for the market.
That's right. So I think this is a chance to actually review that and and fix it all up at once and
so it's a good stock take time of all things, really, isn't it?
I mean, I'm a big believer that even with the recession we've been in, it's a you know, it's been really hard, but it's been a time where businesses actually can review how they're doing everything and actually get things back in line, because when it was all crazy and everyone was really busy, I think all those systems and processes just basically fell out the window, really.
And we get into this kind of rut, really, where we just expect things to wait. We don't want to make the changes, really, because it's such hard work.
Oh, I agree. I agree. It's just, you know, let's just keep it as it is. But I think, as I say, this is great time to review all of those things and also get our staff up to speed on how we should be doing things to make sure that we're all basically up with what we need to be doing from the 1st of October.
So if businesses want help, just lastly, where do they go for that help?
Good question. There's some really good information out there. You can go, the ID has got a fantastic website that's got a lot of information that you can read, and that is www.ird.govt.nz. And WHK, we've actually put some really good information out as well, which is free to anyone. You don't have to be a client of ours, and that's www.whk.co.nz. And from that you can read everything that you need to be doing around adjustments, because there are things that we do need to do at the 30th of September to make sure that we get it all right.
Fantastic, really good information. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Michelle, good to have you.
Thanks.
Michelle Malcolm from WHK Chartered Accountants, and with some really good tips on how to get ready for this GST increase. Well, after the break, we're going to be finding out why we should all get blue for September. We'll see you shortly.